Week 3 is finally here. Now, the biggest story in this part of the country for Week 3 is what in the hell is going on in College Station? After A&M's loss to Appalachian State at home, a lot of people were wondering what the hell is going on in Aggie land. Well, I don't know if anyone knows. I don't know if they know. But they've got a huge game coming up this week. The Miami Hurricanes traveling down to College Station to play the Aggies. And quite honestly, this is a make or break game. But before we get into the details of that game, I want to talk about some of the other action we will see this weekend. Friday, we start off with Florida State traveling to Louisville. Currently, Florida State is favored by 2 to 2.5 points. I think they win big in this contest. They win on the road, Florida State 26, Louisville 14. And this means the Seminoles will start 3-0 for the first time since 2015. Saturday rolls around and we begin with a classic SEC East matchup. Georgia travels to South Carolina. In this game, the defending champs just too much for the Gamecocks. I have Georgia winning 56-21. The athleticism, the speed, the power of Georgia, just way too much for South Carolina to handle, at least this year. Continuing Saturday's action, Oklahoma travels to Nebraska. Nebraska, a storied program that has become a complete dumpster fire. AD Trev Alberts firing head coach Scott Frost this week and replacing him with former Nebraska quarterback Mickey Joseph. Now, Coach Joseph is saying the right things. He's doing the right things. I think he will certainly help improve morale in Lincoln. But in this particular contest, the talent of Oklahoma is just too much. I've got the Sooners winning 48-13 on the road in Lincoln. On Saturday, California, the Golden Bears of Cal travel into Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame takes the first step towards recovery Saturday with a 27-21 victory over Cal. In the 2:30 Central window, which is a very interesting time slot for Oregon, BYU travels to Oregon, and I think this could be the sleeper game of the week. There's a lot of talk going on between the two fan bases, albeit not very much football related. And you've got BYU coming off an excellent double overtime victory over Baylor last week. Oregon at home with a lot to prove. This is a national TV game. The Ducks will be on the ball for this one. I expect Oregon to pull out a very close victory, 38-35 in Eugene on Saturday over BYU. In that same 2:30 Central window, we also have Penn State traveling to Auburn. Both of these programs are looking for respect. They are desperate for national respect, and the only way they're going to get it is to win this game. Now, the 21 game was played in State College, and Penn State came away with a very narrow victory in a game that was marred by some very questionable officiating. It was a close game, though, and I think this will be no different. In this particular matchup, I've got Penn State winning by a score of 31-24. As we move into the 5 p.m. Central Time slot, we've got Mississippi State and Mike Leach traveling to LSU. Brian Kelly kind of having a rough start at LSU. They had the heartbreaking loss to Florida State during Week 1. I know Coach Kelly has had a little bit of issue with the media down in Baton Rouge, so there's some struggles there. But I think the key factor in this entire game is Mike Leach. If you're not that familiar with Mike Leach, he is one of the most unpredictable people on the planet. I think Mike Leach is the X factor in this game. I see Mississippi State winning by a score of 17-13. As we move to the evening time, we have Texas hosting UTSA. And if you don't live in the state of Texas, you probably don't realize how good UT San Antonio really is. In Week 1, they took nationally ranked Houston to the very wire. And I think this game is going to be much the same. Now, in the previous week against Bama, we saw what Texas can do when all the pieces are in place, but they are not in place right now. Quinn Ewers appears to be riding the bench, and Hudson Card appears to be joining him. So Texas is down to the third-string quarterback. I think this becomes a defensive struggle, and the difference will be that Texas defense. So Texas wins this one, a close game, by a score of 20-14. And this leads us to the main event of the evening, the 8 p.m. start time. Miami travels to Texas A&M. After the shocking loss to Appalachian State at home, Jimbo Fisher, for the first time, truly looked uncomfortable in the postgame presser. If they lose this game to Miami at home and drop to 1-2, things are just going to get worse from here on out. And a 1-2 A&M hopping into the SEC schedule is kind of like an injured swimmer diving into a shark tank. They're not going to make it. So it's a must-win for A&M. Surprisingly, I do think they figure out a way to win. I think they replace their quarterback and pull out a 27-24 victory at home. Quick look at the record. Last week it was a 6-4 outing. The full moon got to me, I think, like a lot of our favorite teams. Now I've got the overall of 16-9 for the season. Hopefully we'll improve upon that 6-4 this week with a little bit better showing. Now, whoever your team or teams are, I wish you the very best of luck this week. Enjoy week 3, enjoy college football, and have a wonderful weekend. This is Kevin in Texas saying God bless each and every one of you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.